Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR HALACHA. There's a brand new halacha for you, and it is for Thursday, June 9, the 10th of Sivan. I'm going to start a little short unit with you on the laws of Bishul Akum. Now, generally what that means is that we never have a non-Jew cook foods for us. Now, this is an important halacha for you to know. It's not just theoretical because it would mean a cleaning lady in your home, a helper in your home, an aide in your home, anybody like that who's not Jewish who does cooking in your home. That's a problem if they're not Jewish because we do not eat bishul of akum. We don't eat the cooking of a non-Jew. You can fix this problem. You'll see this in restaurants and also at weddings and catered affairs where they will have non-Jewish people cooking the food for you, but they always can clear up that problem by having a Jew be involved in the cooking, and that would mean like the mashgiach comes and lights all the fires, so he started the cooking, and then the non-Jew could continue the cooking, and that's fine. That's why you will often see that kind of thing going on in a restaurant or at a catered Jewish event, where you'll see the mashgiach lighting the fires. Okay, that I bet a lot of you probably knew. Now I want to just briefly learn together with you the types of foods that don't have the problem of bishul akum. Like obviously, if a non-Jew pours a glass of water for you, like that's not a problem. So the Gemara in Avodah Zarah tells us that if the food that the non-Jew is cooking is a food that can be eaten raw, like let's say carrots or something, so then the non-Jew's cooking is not really essential for you because that he didn't really do too much for you. The carrots were already ready to be eaten before the non-Jew cooked them. Okay, so foods that are eaten raw don't have the problem of bishul akum because the cooking that the non-Jew did for you was kind of insignificant. Also, if the food that the non-Jew cooked for you was not ola al shulchan malachim, it's something that you wouldn't put on a king's table, makes it kind of like an insignificant food, then that too wouldn't be considered a problem if the non-Jew cooked it for you. Now, you and I, we'd have a hard time knowing what foods are considered that would go on a king's table or that wouldn't go on a king's table. So you may sometimes have to consult with your rabbi and say, hey, my non-Jewish cleaning lady is cooking for us the most simple, basic food. Can she do that for us? So you'd have to check with your rabbi because we can't do an entire list here of what's considered ola al shulchan malachim, what foods would go on a king's table and what foods wouldn't. But I have a fun example for you here today, and that's oatmeal. Okay, let's use that one as our first example. The Gemara calls this porridge, and we'll call it oatmeal. It's the same category. And the Gemara says that porridge does not have this problem. So oatmeal will not have this problem. Hence, your cleaning lady or your aide or your non-Jewish helper in the house can cook the oatmeal for you. You wouldn't have to light the fire or anything like that. You might find it fun to realize that the Rashba and Tosfos argue about why porridge does not have the restriction of bishul akum. And remember, we just learned two reasons. We said the restriction of bishul akum doesn't apply to foods that can be eaten raw, and it also doesn't apply to foods that you would never put on a king's table. Well, porridge, the Rashba and Tosfos argue about what's the matter with porridge. The Rashba says that porridge doesn't have this law at all because it can be eaten raw. You can eat oatmeal and porridge raw. Some people might not like it, but it can be eaten. That's the Rashba's reason for why porridge is not subject to the laws of bishul akum. Tosfos, on the other hand, says that porridge or / oatmeal does not have the problem of bishul akum, and that's because you would never serve oatmeal on a king's table. Okay, that's a little bit academic, this last point. It's just fun to note that the Rashba and Tosfos argue about what puts porridge in a lower category. But either way, your cleaning lady could cook up some porridge for you, some oatmeal for you, because of the Rashba's reason that it's edible raw, or because of Tosfos's reason that you would never serve it to a king. Isn't that interesting for you to know? The kings don't eat oatmeal. Anyway, but it means you wouldn't serve it up as a fancy dish on a king's table. Okay, more to follow on this interesting topic. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.